Gather one, gather all, to gather round. Hi, welcome to round 5 tips featuring my windbreaker. This is what I actually wear to the MCG when I go, which is rarely because I work weekends and when it's a Friday night game and I am able to attend, it's in GMHBA and I'm not going down the highway. We're gonna start this week off a little bit differently. I have notes that I have not reviewed since I wrote them post Melbourne Geelong game last week. These are straight from my heart and soul. I have not touched them. There's no title. We jump straight in. I've written, what the fuck happens to Melbourne when they enter the 50? Gary Lyon needs to be shunned from commentating Melbourne games. I don't know what he thinks he's doing by trying to do this not biased bullshit, but I cannot stand it. Around the ground contest from the D's was better. Desire is back. Tackling is lacking. Tackling is lackling. The next point that I've written just says Harrison Petty full stop. And then immediately under that it says need another full body defender and put Tom McDonald back forward. What the fuck is wrong with Fritsch? And lastly, I might have a stroke if I see another long bomb inside forward 50. So that was me post game. It's like I'm going through the stages of grief. I've gone past anger. I've gone past disappointment. I'm in acceptance now. So, you know, no more stupid edits of me getting annoyed that we've lost by 10 goals. Because I've just gotten to the point where I'm like, yep, we're back. This is who we were. This is who we are. This is who we are as a team at a core. This is who we have always been since Norm Smith got fired. This has just been the track record of the Melbourne Football Club, and that's just something I have to accept. We are in gather round territory. Do I care for gather round? I mean, yeah, like, it's great for South Australians. They do love a good complaining to everyone they can catch the ear of about how much they travel. Fuck WA, I guess. Those guys have to go somewhere every week, but fuck me if Port Adelaide and Adelaide got to travel. Fuck me if Collingwood have to travel. Okay. We're just gonna put that one in a bottle and throw it in the ocean. Thursday night, tomorrow night, 10th of April, 7:40. Adelaide are hosting Geelong at Adelaide Oval. I fucking hope Adelaide smash these cheating bastards. I hope that Adelaide just go out there and take that pent-up anger that they had from last week where they got robbed by the umpires, and I hope that they take it out on this team that conspire with the umpiring academy. Remember what I said about acceptance? Look, I think Adelaide are just a better team than Geelong. Melbourne looked like we were in it until halfway in the third quarter. That is a shocking performance by Geelong. We are shit. We should not be doing that to a team that has won a premiership in the last 5 years. Sorry, I'm just remembering that we also won a premiership in the last 5 years. Walker, Fogarty, Phil Thorpe, they're just scoring. They are just scoring. I know nothing about Adelaide's defence, but Adelaide's forward line, it's quite noticeable. And I think Adelaide's forward line is better than Geelong's. Geelong's is just Cameron. Kick it to Cameron. I love Dart, but it's kick it to Cameron show. I've got some pent up anger. Fuck it. Adelaide by 50. Next game, we have Collingwood versus Sydney at Adelaide Oval, Friday night, 7:40. Collingwood are tipped to win. I'm tipping Sydney. Collingwood hate travelling. They hate going to Marvel. They hate going to Ballarat. I think some of them hate actually having to go to the MCG sometimes because they're leaving their homes. The way that I watched Sydney pump the gas last week against North, the Sydney of old have returned. So I just think that they might just be on this run. I think they said, did we forget who we are? We are the Sydney Swans. We don't need horse. The game plan is written on the walls. Cox is just the one saying it. We just need to play the same. And they played They played. I don't know why Collingwood is tipped to win, but I disagree immensely. I'm going to say Sydney by 25. That seems good. That seems good in my heart, my soul, and my bones. Moving on, Saturday, the 12th of April, 12:35. This is why, you know, the time difference. It really catches me off guard. We've got North Gold Coast at Barossa Park. First game in the Valley. Fuck it, we're gonna go party on the Barossa Valley after the match. Who gives a fuck if we win or lose? Wine region. I didn't even know they built a ground in Barossa. Why would they do that? Anyway, look, Gold Coast, they are premiership contenders. I cannot see them losing this game to North. Not that North have been bad. They've been playing very, very good and consistent football. I just think Gold Coast are here and North is about here. Look, and you know, Gold Coast have travelled this year. North have not. Gold Coast have travelled 3 of 5 games. So I think that the Gold Coast will just have the upper hand. Did they rob Adelaide last week by a very poor umpiring decision? Absolutely. But it was a very entertaining game to watch as someone who had no stakes in the match. Wow, did I have a great time watching that game. But yeah, look, Gold Coast win by 40? Gold Coast by 40. Next up, 120. Game of who the fuck will win. Carlton West Coast. Carlton are tipped $1.14. West Coast are tipped $5.75. I know on paper Carlton should win. I really hope West Coast win. And you know what? They got pummeled last week by GWS. Decimated. If they don't come out with some sort of fight, if they don't come out with fight, they're done for the year. But I wholeheartedly think that West Coast will come out with fight. And I really, really, really want them to win. I think it will be very close if West Coast come out with some body and some desire to play the game. All they have to do is play a full game, because Carlton can't do that. I'm tipping West Coast by 2 points. I think Carlton will have a really good start, and then whatever happens at half time will happen, and they're gone. Everyone will be cheering West Coast, and then Melbourne and Carlton are going to be on the 17th and 18th. Moving on. 4:15, Norwood. We've got the Western Bulldogs and the Brisbane Lions. On paper, Brisbane look better, but I think the Doggies have been playing better football, more consistent football. I think Brisbane aren't playing very consistent football at all. They're not putting they're not putting gas to the pedal. They're not shitting on teams. They let Richmond score 90 points on them. You know what I mean? Like, you are the reigning premier. You're versing fucking children. And you let them score 90 points. The odds are against them. But I love an underdog. Doggies by 20. Doggies by 20. Look, I have literally no rhyme or reason. There's no ins or outs yet. You can't see the phone. I don't know why I showed you the phone. Will Bont be back? I don't know. The Ashcrofts are good. The Dogs will definitely put up more of a fight than Richmond. I don't believe Brisbane should be undefeated. I think they should be 1-3. I don't even remember what games they had, but I just know based off watching them play, they have not been playing great. They don't deserve to be 4-0, but I digress and we move on. My life. Look, every time I see them, it like sucks the soul out of my body. 7:35 Saturday at Adelaide Oval. Melbourne host Essendon. Why did I start rocking? Melbourne are tipped $2 to Essendon's $1.85. And you know what? I agree. You know what? Just fucking... I can't even. We're done. We're gonna lose this game. And if we win, after everything I've watched, I'd be so impressed. I don't think I could say another bad thing about the club if we won against Essendon in Adelaide. After the 4 rounds I've had to digest and accept and process and grieve. But on paper, Melbourne's list is incredible. And Essendon's is not. And then you got fucking the media talking about how Christian Petrarca can't show emotion, but, you know, players should show emotion and be, you know, very secure in their emotions and their mental health. And then he shouldn't be throwing his mouth guard. And, you know, would I have thrown my mouth guard? Probably not. But I used to play netball, and you could fucking feel it rolling off me when we lost. You could feel it, you could see it. So I can't blame him. I think he's showing emotion that he cares. I don't think it's because he wants to leave. Look, you probably don't sign a 5 to 7 year deal if you wanted to leave a club. But then again, that club did mismanage you and your injury, and then, you know, Essendon to win. Essendon to win. I can't tell you the scoreline because these are the 2 most untrustworthy teams in the league. This game can go any which way. But for the sake of it, Essendon by 26. That then takes us on to Sunday. Sunday, 12:35, Richmond, Freo at Barossa. Freo I tipped to win. I'm going to tip the Tigers. They played pretty well up in Brisbane. So you gotta have faith in the young teams. You know, you got Sarongs and Brayshaws and Jacksons and Clarks. Richmond had multiple goal scorers. Like, they were all getting involved. And I think that's what I like about Richmond. You know how sad this is? I'm getting excited for a team that I don't like. I think it'll be close if Richmond win. So I'm going to say Richmond by 10 or 12. And I think this will really shake up Freo's season. You know, Freo, who'd Freo this last week? The Doggies. Like, did they have that suspicious interchange tally? Yeah. But did they also get, you know, a little bit robbed by the umpiring? Yeah. So, look, if the game goes well and there's nothing going on, Richmond win. Moving on to 3:20, we've got St Kilda versus the Giants. The Giants are going to pummel them. You know, it's weeks like last week where I really miss Jesse Hogan. I understand they versed West Coast, but kicking 9? Do you know how nice it would be to have a forward that leads? Do you know how pleasant that would be? Jesse Hogan leads. He was ours. I used to watch the halftime. It was called Hogan's Heroes. Do speckies. And then they had to stop doing it because some guy got concussed on the turf. Anyway, the Giants will pummel St Kilda. Pummel. This will be a smashing. GWS by 50 at the skinniest oval in the country. To finish us off for Gather Round, we've got Port and Hawthorn at Adelaide Oval. I cannot trust Port Adelaide. What the fuck is going on with Port Adelaide? How are you win, lose? What is going on? Do you not care? Do you not care to win 2 games in a row? I put all my eggs in your basket to win a very winnable game, might I add, that you should have won. You know, so we're tipping Hawthorn. They're coming back from the bye. They're rejuvenated. Guinea's gonna go over there and take the piss. Hawthorn will win. I'm not gonna... 35 points. 35 to 60 points. Hawthorn win by on Sunday. But this is gonna be a round with no byes. Very exciting. Everyone's playing. That is kind of the point of Gather Round. Everyone has gather rounded. But we start with an Adelaide game and we end with an Adelaide game, and then everyone goes home. Here is the recap. Adelaide to beat Geelong, Sydney to beat Collingwood, Gold Coast to beat North Melbourne, West Coast to beat Carlton, Western Bulldogs to beat the Brisbane Lions, Essendon to beat Melbourne, Richmond to beat Fremantle, GWS to beat St Kilda, and Hawthorn to beat Port Adelaide. I cannot wait to see you all next week looking like a bigger dickhead. I have a beanie somewhere that will make an appearance. And then after that, I'm gonna have to find somewhere that sells red and blue face paint. Looking forward to that. I don't know why I decided to do that to myself, but pain of the game. Thank you all so much for joining me. The sun is setting, so this is probably the best time to end this video. Thank you all so much for joining me. You know where to find me. Send me your get well soon wishes, because I will need it after watching Melbourne. Thank you. Good luck in your tips. May all your teams win. If I tip them to lose, my bad.